Testing, testing. into session. Let's stand for the flag and for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence, please. Let's be seated. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 1046, etc., adequate notification of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the record and posting notice in the Board of Education Administration Building, Padavano Education Center, and filing notice with the city clerk. I hereby call to order the regular public meeting on Monday, August 28, 2023, in Nellie K. Parker School Auditorium at 5:30. At 5:30 p.m. I will now do a roll call. Mr. Mendez is absent. Mr. Carroll.
Present.
Mr. Coleman.
Present.
Ms. Cordero Alton.
Present.
Ms. Maury.
Present.
Mr. Meehan.
Present.
Mr. Powell is not here. Ms. Somerville.
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez is not here. Mr. James Vickery is not here as yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have a quorum. Be it resolved Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education determines it is necessary to meet in executive session on Monday, August 28, 2023, to discuss legal, personal, student, and related matters, HIB reports, negotiations, and other confidential matters. Be it resolved that these matters will be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Do I have a motion to go to closed session?
I move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We now move to go to closed session at 5:30 p.m.
So now.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, welcome back. Ms. Singh, will you do a roll call for us, please?
Okay, Mr. Carroll is not here. Mr. Coleman,
Present.
Ms. Cordero Alton,
Present.
Ms. Maury,
Present.
Mr. Meehan,
Present.
Mr. Powell. Not here. Ms. Somerville,
Present.
Mr. Rodriguez is not here. Mr. James Vickery.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right. So now we have some presentations to do. Let's see there. First, we have our access student performance data presentation by Ms. Andrea Oates. Oh, yes. Oh, we are gonna.
Ms. Park? Can I stay here? Ms. Park? Oh, gotcha.
Good evening, everyone. You hear me? Tonight, we present the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment results for Hackensack High School and Hackensack School District. The next two slides will provide an overview of the NJ GPA. I will read these requirements instead of paraphrasing so that I provide the accurate information for you from the state, because this is a fairly new assessment. Statute requires the state graduation proficiency assessment to be administered to all grade 11 students. NJGPA is designed to measure the extent to which students are graduation ready in English language arts and mathematics. Graduation readiness is reported separately for each content component. The ELA component is aligned to the grade 10 standards. The mathematics component is aligned to Algebra 1 and geometry standards. On May 3rd of this year, the New Jersey State Board of Education adopted the proficiency level cut score for English language arts and the mathematics components of the NJ GPA, as well as the menu of alternative assessments and aligned cut scores. Students who take but do not meet the minimum required score on each component of the assessment will have the opportunity to receive additional supports and may take the following steps: retake the ELA and/or mathematics components of the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment in the following summer or fall, or meet designated cut score from the menu of substitute competency test, or complete a portfolio appeal. This slide shows the participation rate. And as you can see, we have a 99% participation rate. And this is great in terms of attendance. 99% of our students participated. Excellent. Thank you, high school, for your focus on attendance. And we have a notable achievement here. We are very excited, we're happy, but not surprised by the slide, which we consider a notable achievement. This slide compares last year's 2022 results to this year's results. Both math and ELA saw increases. I said that we are not surprised because when our teachers and our educational community work together, we will continue to see progress. I especially want to congratulate our teachers, beginning in kindergarten, who have paved the way for our students' success. However, we really need to give special accolades to the high school ELA teachers, the math teachers, for all the instructional moves that they made to serve our students with excellence. A special thanks to our supervisors, Roseanne Cavallo and Jen Park, who are here with us this evening, and to Principal Jimmy Montesano and his team. So this slide compares our district performance in relation to the state average, which reflects all of the students in New Jersey who took the NJGPA assessment. We are right there, if you notice, with English language arts. And we are going to reach the state's average in math next year because that's what Comets do. We rise to the occasion and we strive for excellence. Slide 7. This slide shows by subgroup or by race the achievement levels of math and ELA combined. We can see that we have more students who are graduation ready. The Asian, Black, Hispanic, and white subgroups have more students who are graduation ready as opposed to not graduation ready. This slide shows by subgroup, by program, the achievement levels of math and ELA combined in all areas. We can see more students who are graduation ready. Although not depicted on this slide as well are students with disabilities. 30% of our students with disabilities were graduation ready. And I also want to note that 58%, the majority of our students with disabilities met the ELA cut score as well. So again, congratulations. Now, as we continue to say to you each year after providing student performance data, that this information is for the purpose of our teachers and our administrators to determine intervention so that our students continue to excel in learning. Mrs. Cavallo, English Language Arts District Supervisor, and Ms. Jen Park, Math, Business, and Computer Science Supervisor, will elaborate on the interventions that we have planned.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Roseanne Cavallo, English Supervisor, 5 through 12. So let me see if you can do this. All right, I realized when we put the slide together that it's kind of out of context. So I want to put this in some context for you so you can understand what the interventions are that we're focusing on this year. So this slide does represent the focus for the school year in English Language Arts 9 to 11, grades 9 to 11. In language arts, sorry, this parchment's tall. In language arts, we follow a multi-tiered system of supports for reading and writing intervention. And I don't want to get too into it, but I want to let you know what that means. So that means that we use a universal screener for all students in 9 to 11. And that's an assessment that lets us know where students are and what tiers they fall into. So we know what kind of assessment and what kind of support we have to provide them in their English classes and outside of their English classes. The two universal screeners we use in grades 9 to 11 are reading inventory, which we have been using for some time. That's a short reading assessment that's online. And then we also use a more specific skill-based diagnostic, which is called which is called the Insight Diagnostic. And that's part of the Reading Plus / Dreambox group of interventions. This is new last year. We piloted this program in the middle school and the high school, and we found some pretty good results, some pretty positive results in terms of student growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. In fact, in the high school level, we found that students at the beginning of the year were moved about 30 points to reading on grade level at the end of the year in the Reading Plus assessment. Okay, so there was movement for everybody, but for the students who were consistent all year long, there was a lot of movement. So we decided to keep that as an intervention for grades 9 to 11 students this school year. That is a tier 2 intervention. And let me go back. Tier 1 means that it's everything that all students get. The curriculum in their core courses, in addition to some differentiation and basic extra help that teachers provide either through tutoring or, help after school. Our tier 1 interventions that are on this slide are the quarterly independent choice reading project. So what that means is we have decided that, students need to read to get better at reading, but we want our students to read something that they like to read. So we have invested in classroom libraries. We've invested in time with professional development with our librarians and Johnson Public Library and our literacy consultants, so that teachers can build their libraries in their classrooms and also know how to provide reading that students like to read. So these are all based on choice. Students choose one independent reading a marking period, and they have some type of project in which to share what they've read. This is not about grading and giving them more grades. It's about sharing, developing a love of reading, which is one of the values we have in our English department, right? To develop lifelong readers. The other tier 1 support that we have is the new integrated nonfiction reading and writing units. And we found that in the NJSLA and in the NJGPA in the past, the students had some difficulty in reading informational texts, those texts that are written about science materials or social studies or historical topics. So they are working on those topics in those content areas, but we are also working on that in language arts classes by creating a new integrated nonfiction reading research project each year. So that's new this year. We had teachers from every grade level, 9 to 11, work with our literacy consultants in developing these units. So we're really excited about them, and we are hoping that the teachers and the students will find them engaging, and also, we're hoping that that's going to increase their independent performance on nonfiction reading when they are taking assessments or writing research papers. Again, so that's another tier 1. Everybody will have access to those units. The tier 2 assessments we have. So tier 2 is a small group intervention. That means some students need a little bit of extra support in your classes, and you might pull those students out into small group or strategy group instruction. And it's difficult, right, to provide intervention or differentiation for all of the students that teachers might have. So Reading Plus is the program, takes the diagnostic information from that insight test, and it's adaptive, this test. So each student can take it in their own time, right, with their own abilities, and they get lessons that are assigned to them based on their performance and their skill level. And then the students will work on those assignments. So that would be their small group intervention that they are working on in class, in addition to small groups that the teachers create as well. Again, it has shown to help students really improve in their reading skills this year, as long as they're consistently working on it. And teachers are also following up on the Reading Plus platform and meeting with students about their progress and their goals. The next tier 2 intervention we have is actually Ms. Park and I are working with a member from the state who is going to help our PLCs learn our professional learning communities in English and math, learn how to analyze the data that we have, our benchmark data, and our classwork data, and plan for small group instruction based on that data, so that we are providing responsive instruction for students all year long, and we know how to use that data. The goal of this tier 2 professional development is for teachers to really know very well their students' strengths and their students' areas in need of support, so that they can target that through instruction throughout the year. So that's tier 1, tier 2. Tier 3 is something we've had for a while, and that support system is for students who really need a little bit more support in their reading or writing skills or their literacy skills. And we offer reading labs in the high school. It's not on there because it's not new. This is new intervention, but it's something that's ongoing. And that's so they're really taking a second language arts course, a reading lab in using teacher-made materials, but also evidence-based programs like Read 180 and System 44, depending on the universal screener and how students perform on that. So we do have a pretty comprehensive system of support for our students. And one way that we will follow up on that is to continue progress monitoring, and that would be with using the Linkit benchmark assessments. Now, we will do 3 of those this year in math and ELA, and they are aligned to the NJSLA standards. And they're also predictive in terms of showing how students might perform and how we might be able to provide targeted instruction along the way before students take that test. Again, the analysis of those benchmarks will happen in department meetings and in the PLCs to help teachers to plan for informative instruction for their students. We don't do, as Ms. Parchman said, we don't do this alone. And I do want to acknowledge and thank all of our ELA teachers. I work with teachers 5 through 12, and I know that they work hard in moving our students forward. I know that they're dedicated and committed to providing student choice and supporting student growth. And they will do anything to get their students to perform well. And I'm proud of them. And I look forward to continue working with them this school year in service of our students. So thank you all for your time and for listening to us this evening.
Good evening, everyone. This is a tough act to follow, so I'll try my best. My name is Jen Park, and I'm supervisor of math and business for grades 5 through 12. I'd like to start off by thanking our teachers in the math department for their hard work and dedication to our students. I just joined the Comet family in February of this year, and I am very, very lucky to have such a wonderful staff and colleagues, and just surrounded by all the amazing students. So I'll talk to the math part of the intervention strategies that we're using. I won't repeat some of the stuff that Ms. Cavallo had already mentioned. But basically the slide shows like the focus of the strategies we plan to incorporate in response to the NJ GPA data. And sorry, can you hear me? So following a similar model to the multi-tiered system of support that Ms. Cavallo mentioned, the tiers we have in place are as follows. So tier 1, which is not listed up there, is the curricular programs that we already have in place, along with differentiation strategies that are implemented by the teacher based on student progress and needs. Now, this tier is for all students, again, who have access to tier 1 instruction and resources. For tier 2, we will focus again on targeted small group instruction. This year, the supervisors, we kind of came together and we tried to figure out we wanted to streamline our focus for this year and have like a cohesive plan. And we decided that targeted small group instruction was something that we really wanted to focus on this year. So the small groups here will be based on student data from formative and summative assessments, as well as the Linkit benchmark assessments. In the small groups, students will receive time on ALEX, which is an adaptive math program, which I'll talk more about in a second. Tasks that incorporate the use of manipulative, so physical or digital, to really strengthen and the understanding of conceptual skills. And then time with teacher. So within those small groups, as the teacher has students working in different centers, the teachers will also work with a small group of students on reteaching or implementing other strategies. For tier 3, this will be an after-school program. We will be running 2 cycles. Students will be identified for intervention and priority will be given to special education students, as we've noticed that was a need for this year. Teachers will create and deliver targeted instruction using the approved after-school tutorial materials. And teachers in the program will also analyze data to make sure they're modifying the instruction during the after-school program and documenting the student growth through formative and summative assessments. So the different tiers of support really allow us to meet students where they are, but by providing them more support for students who need it. With regard to Alex, so that's a program that we're implementing this year, and there's an initial knowledge check that students will be taking. And once they take that initial knowledge check, the program will actually create a tailored learning plan for the students. And what it does is it'll focus on, okay, here are the strengths that you have, like, here's what you already know. So then when the student goes into the program, they'll be able to figure out what standards align topics that they would actually need to focus on. So it's adaptive, but it'll also tailor the learning for them. And then with regards to the Link It, again, we'll be in the math department as well, we'll be implementing the 3 benchmark assessments this year. And like Ms. Cavallo said, they're a pretty good indicator of how well students will perform on the state assessments. But during PLCs, again, as Ms. Cavallo said, we'll be working with the person from the state, and teachers will be using these data cycles to analyze and improve the instruction with the whole group as well as the small group. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Cavallo and Ms. Park. And now tonight, we also present to you Access for English Language Learners Summary Results for 2023. So all students who qualify for bilingual services are required to take Access, even if they are not in the district's bilingual program. This assessment measures students' English language proficiency growth. The purpose of the test is to monitor student progress and English proficiency. The results also help us, teachers and administrators, to determine how to address the instructional needs of students, and it also informs our professional learning. Once again, I am pleased to show the participation rate of students who took the Access. The next slides, as you can see, will provide a district analysis, school analysis, and demographic analysis. So this slide shows the achievement levels of students in the 3 grade spans. You know, this K through 5, 6 through 8, 9 through 12. There are 6 achievement levels you can see across the top: beginning, developing, expanding, bridging, and reaching. Oh, entering, beginning, developing, expanding, bridging, and reaching. The majority of our students, as you can see, are in the first 3 levels of achievement. And our aim is to move students toward the expanding, bridging, and reaching so that they are eligible to exit the program with a score of 4.5, which is the higher band of the expanding. So some of the students meeting the expanding level are eligible to exit the program and become mainstreamed into the general education program. We want to especially thank our bilingual teachers and our ESL teachers for working tirelessly with our students to meet each student's individual learning needs. And they do this every day. This is a bar graph that depicts the same thing that I just shared with you. Section 2, the school analysis. The next slides compare the 4 schools, but please note, however, that our bilingual program was only housed in 2 schools last year. Those schools were Jackson Avenue Elementary School and Nellie K. Parker Elementary School. This coming year, we are pleased and happy to announce that Hiller School will also house a kindergarten bilingual class. I'll just let you look a minute. If you see the grades, and if you look across the rows, it shows the percentage students at each level. And although we only have 1 high school and 1 middle school, what we are usually required to do, educators, to compare if you have 2 middle schools or 2 high schools, but we still wanted to show you the achievement levels for students who attend these schools, who attended these schools last year. So grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8 for the middle school. To the high school, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. And finally, the demographic analysis. You can see that the bar graph represents entering, beginning, developing, expanding, bridging, and reaching for the Asian subgroup, Black, Hispanic, multiple races, and white. This next slide shows by subgroup students receiving free and reduced lunch and special education students. The achievement levels for all of our students, kindergarten through 12th grade. And once again, to discuss or present to you the interventions, we have Ms. Marcella Moncloa. She is the Director of Bilingual, ESL, and World Language for our district. And she will elaborate on the intervention that we have planned to address the access results. Ms. Monclova?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Parchment, for this important data review. I'd like to begin by also thanking our bilingual and ESL teachers for their hard work this past school year. We had an unusually large number of students enrolled throughout the year. And our bilingual and ESL teachers, I can attest that they are fully committed to providing welcoming, nurturing, and safe havens to receive them. And I thank the district for also receiving these children with open arms. So after a review and analysis of this year's Access for ELL's data, these are some of the steps we're taking to improve student performance and promote English language development. We have launched the school year with a PD session for new teachers on scaffolding instruction for multilingual learners, which includes, of course, an SEL component. That's primary, right? First and foremost, good practice is to continue to create those welcoming environments for all our multilinguals, whether they are newcomers or transitioning into general education classrooms for part of their day. We will continue this training throughout the year for all district teachers. Our training of bilingual and ESL teachers will include progress monitoring, right? So this first page is what we're doing at the teacher level or at the instructional level. We're going to include progress monitoring on the language domains of writing and speaking based on the data that we saw that was presented to you. We will be using benchmark assessments and the WIDA writing and speaking rubrics. Our training will also include scaffolding instruction for multilinguals using comprehensible input and output, which essentially means controlling the language of instruction so that it meets the zone of proximal development for students, not lower, not higher, but that sweet spot of being accessible to students. Another research-based strategy we will be using is setting goalposts for students to reach those higher levels of the rubrics. We know from research and from our real lives that goal setting and setting micro progressions for students and teachers after a data review is a systematic way of moving up those rubric levels. We will model and practice shared and interactive writing with targeted feedback provided during small group and individual writing conferences. You've heard that over and over tonight as interventions. The magic happens in small groups and individualized instructions. And as a practice, as a district, we want to move our teachers to those levels, to small group and individualized instruction. Based on research findings, we will focus our kindergarten program on oracy development, which is the basis for literacy development. And for students who need further support in writing, we will introduce guided writing and more systematic instruction in word study. Word study includes vocabulary, patterns, chunks, semantic groups, phonics, etc. And at the organizational level, so on our end, at the school and district level, our role will be to provide that professional development and coaching in the WIDA speaking and writing rubrics, the Tier 1 practices and the Tier 2 interventions that we just mentioned in the previous slide. Our goal is to create these benchmark assessments. So we don't currently have them, right? We have them in ELA, we have them in math. We need to create them for ESL. That's what we'll be doing this year. We will create benchmark assessments and collect progress monitoring data. We'll support teachers in analyzing the data to assess our practices and pivot if necessary, and it's always necessary to pivot. We are excited to continue this work with our teachers and monitor student outcomes closely. Thank you. Have a good evening.
That ends our presentations. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All of you participated in that. It was much appreciated. So now we will move on to our superintendent's report.
Thank you. First off, I'd just like to, thank Ms. Parchment, Ms. Cavallo, Ms. Park, and Ms. Moncloa for all the work that they do. And of course, more importantly, where the magic happens, our teachers for, the results that we see, that we're actually starting to get some, significant improvement in our schools. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, now my report. So good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. As the summer comes to a close, I'm thrilled to welcome everyone back to another exciting school year. This summer has been a very busy one at Hackensack Public Schools. Our teachers and administrators have been hard at work preparing for the upcoming school year, whether it be creating stimulating lessons or simply ensuring that all of our school supplies have arrived. Our staff is committed to seeing our young scholars succeed. Over the past month, our hardworking custodians and maintenance personnel have been thoroughly cleaning the facilities and making any necessary repairs to get our schools ready for the first day of school. I'm happy to report that progress continues on our numerous facility projects throughout the district. Please indulge me and allow me a moment to highlight just a few of our completed and some of our ongoing projects. Cafeteria renovations at Hackensack Middle School and Hackensack High School still in progress. New bleachers at Hackensack Middle School coming soon. Freshly paved playground area at Hillers. New track at Hackensack High School. Fieldhouse tent renovation and renovated fitness center at Hackensack High School. New gym floor currently being installed and new stair treads here at Nellie K. Parker School. Upgraded HVAC systems at Hillers. New boilers at Jackson Avenue School. New elevator at Fairmount School. Upgraded HVAC systems at Fairmount in progress. High school auditorium renovation in progress. And soon, in the next couple of months, HVAC upgrades to begin at Hackensack Middle School. Please keep in mind that a few of these projects are still ongoing, and we are doing everything we can to cause the least amount of disruption possible. With that said, we share in your frustration when we inform you that the cafeteria renovations at Hackensack Middle School and Hackensack High School are behind schedule. Unfortunately, as many of you know from your own experiences, when you open up a wall or a floor during a construction project, you're bound to come across an unforeseen condition that requires a new solution. That is exactly what we found numerous times in the aforementioned projects. Please know that the contractor has been working around the clock to get these projects completed. Contingency plans have been put in place to feed our students at the aforementioned buildings, and those plans have been properly vetted out collaboratively by our food service vendor, local health officials, and our very own administrative team. We are confident that the completion of these renovations will be worth the wait. We ask once again, for your continued patience as we strive to create a better school environment for our students and staff. Finally, as we embark on this new school year, let's approach it with a sense of purpose and positivity. Let's celebrate our successes, learn from our challenges, and work together to create an environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to achieve their full potential. Now on to the enrollment report. Our current enrollment is 5,130 students. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sanchez. So we'll move on to our public comments portion of the evening. All participants, please sign in. When it's your turn, please state the following: your name, your municipality, and any group that you might be affiliated with that pertains to your comments. Each person has a limit of 3 minutes. When the buzzer goes off, please, I will say thank you. That is your time to stop. Please direct all comments to me as the presiding officer tonight, and all responses that we might have will be held until the end of the public comments. Who is up first? All right. Welcome.
Good evening. Blanche Stewart, homeowner, member of the work group. I'm sorry, I did sign my name back there, but I wasn't sure what the agenda was. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the presentation blind. Would I be able to find that online or anywhere? Or can I get a copy? Yeah. Okay. Basically, I said, I signed my name because I know in past years you had to sign before you could speak. But a few years ago, you were able to speak after the meeting. I don't know if you have that second section again to speak after. Because you're going to vote on things and communicate on things, but we can't express our opinion on them because we don't know what you're going to express. So I hope you would reconsider putting that back at the end. Because for us to get up here now, before you voted on anything or discussed anything, is useless. Thank you.
Anybody else in the room? Anybody online? All right.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
We sure can.
Great, thank you so much. My name is Tony Jackson of Hackensack, Nellie K. Parker teacher. I want to start off by saying that I'm very much looking forward to a wonderful year starting off. Just had a couple of things. One is that I hope there can be some consideration to elementary school students being considered comets. I know that officially in middle school, you have the junior comets, then you have comets in high school. And I would just like for the elementary students to be a part of that as well. I wanted to say that quickly. The main thrust of what I wanted to say has to do with something that happened 2 meetings ago. In June, at the meeting before we left for the summer, there were dozens of Fairmount teachers, and they came out to ask for help and support because, as they said, they were feeling unheard. They were fearing retaliation. They were citing the transfer of a veteran teacher who was blindsided and had to change schools, who wasn't even, as it was reported, who wasn't even told of this change by their own administration. And it was unsettling, as reported by, again, dozens of Fairmount teachers. And they were, some of them cried. They were making heartfelt pleas to all of you or whoever was there to please listen to them and help to make a difference so that they could feel heard, so there could be more transparency. Everybody who was up there responded and said, we appreciate you saying something. Thank you for this. You're doing the right thing. This is the way to do it. We hear you. We hear you. There were tears shed. The next meeting, many of the Fairmount teachers came out again, and they expressed several of the same concerns. The difference was there was no one who said anything about Fairmount at all. The proposal was passed along, and in your comments, no one said anything about Fairmount at all. I say all of that because I don't want this to be lip service from you. Whoever is up there needs to stand behind whatever you have to say, and I would hope that you stand behind our teachers. I haven't had to stand up there as many of my colleagues at Fairmount have had to, and I'm thankful for that. But I hope that when I do, that I don't just have people saying, we hear you, thank you for speaking out, that people are coming up and saying, oh, well, you know what, here is something that we are trying to do. Here is how we are attempting to help. Here is who we have spoken to. Here is a path that we have created to make something happen, to make something better. And so for all of those teachers who are going to start again feeling defeated because they feel like they were unheard, even though they came and spoke, I salute you. I love y'all. I support y'all. And I hope that you all will do the same for them. Thank you so much. Peace.
Thank you. So we will move on to our actions. You approve our minutes first. So be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education approves the regular meeting minutes and closed session minutes of July 24th, 2023, as submitted. Can I have a motion for that? A second. That was Mr. Cohen. A second, please.
Second.
That was Ms. Somerville. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. That motion passes. Moving on to personnel, Mr. Coleman.
Thank you. On the recommendations, 10, I move for the approval of personal actions 8.1.
I would like to read because it's a walk-on resolution, maybe. Can anyone hear me? Yeah. No?
It's very.
Okay, leave closer. Okay, E, be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, approve, ratify 22-23 terminal payment as per HBOE HEA agreement and non-bargaining contractual agreement. Staff member, Servet Pizazi, position Director of Buildings and Grounds, number of days 30, and the payment for that is $16,743.60.
All right, thank you. So we have a motion from Mr. Coleman. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Cordero Outten. We'll do a roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Cordero Alton,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Meehan,
Yes.
Mr. Paul is not here, Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez is not here, Mr. James Vickery.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right, thank you. Moving on to policy.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, approves the first read of the following policy and regulation, which is policy 2419, school threat assessment team. And then be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, approve the second reading of the following policies and regulation. So we have 8 policies up for second read. For the expediency of time, I will not read off each one of them, but these will be posted again on the Hackensack School Board website. And if there's any additional information that is needed on any of these policies for the updates and the changes, please feel free to reach out to Assistant Superintendent Mrs. Marks, and she can provide you any additional detail later on. So I bring forward the policy section for approval of the board.
Thank you, Ms. Somerville. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Roll call, please.
Okay, so Mr. Bendez, Mr. Carroll, and Mr. Powell is not here. Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Cordero Alton,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Meehan,
Yes.
Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez is not here, Mr. James Vickery,
Yes.
6 here also, motion passes.
All right, thank you so much. Now, moving on to curriculum. Ms. Somerville?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good evening again. Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, approves the following policies under curriculum C1 through C36 for approval. So special attention to C3. There is just field trips locations that will be updated. So we're adding a few different field trips location for our students, and just want to do a special thank you to the Adopt a School National Initiative Partnership, which is C26, between Hackensack Middle School and the Zeta Phi Beta sorority incorporated. So beyond that, I bring forward C1 to C36 for approval.
Thank you. A motion by Ms. Somerville. Can I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Meehan. Is there any discussion on those items? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Bendezu, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Powell is not here. Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Cordero Alton,
Yes.
Ms. Maury.
I have to abstain on C29 and C31 and yes to all.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
C29,
C29.
C31.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Meehan,
Yes.
Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery.
Yes.
So I have 6 votes. I have 2 exceptions for C29 and C31. However, motion still passes.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to finance. I will do that. We have, let's see, D1 through D14. I'll make a motion to push forward D1 through D14. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Is there any discussion of that item? We'll take a roll call.
Okay, again, Mr. Bendezu, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Powell, Mr. Rodriguez being absent, Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Cordero Alton,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Meehan,
Yes.
Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And moving on to E, which is buildings and grounds. I will do that one as well. We will push forward E1 through E13. Those we have lots, as always, going on in the district. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
I think Ms. Somerville said it. Second. Any discussion on those items?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Bendezu, Mr. Carroll, Mr. Powell, Mr. Rodriguez being absent. Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Cordero Alton,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Meehan,
Yes.
Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Is there any old business anyone needs to circle back to? All right, any new business? All right. Before we jump into board comments, I do want to make one quick announcement to make sure before people try to get out of here. As we are Mr. Sanchez announced his retirement in January, and as we are moving forward with a job superintendent search, we want to make sure that we are including the community as we move forward in different steps along the way. And the first way that we are going to do that is you will, in the next couple of weeks, you will notice when you go to our website, a survey that will pop up that we are asking as many people to take as possible. And what it will be is a way for you to offer back or offer feedback on what it is that you believe or what from maybe a group that you are affiliated with or whoever believes that our next superintendent, what we're looking for, what the community is looking for, what qualities, what is it that we want to see in the next person that sits in that chair. We want to be able to, as we are doing our job, we want to be able to make sure that we are representing the people that we were elected to serve. And we want to make sure that when it's interviewing and whatever it is that we're asking the questions in the right frame of reference, that what you're wanting us to be asking. So be on the lookout for that in the next couple of weeks. So let's jump into board comments and then we will be out of here. So we'll start on that end.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight on nice summer evening. Thanks for joining us. I just wanted to quickly thank our administrators and supervisors for their presentation tonight. I'm very excited to see that our numbers are growing, that we're seeing progress. Obviously, it's not on all subjects, but we're getting there slowly and surely. I have full confidence in our leadership. Wanted to thank our maintenance and custodial staff for getting our schools ready for our students to come in next week. Lots of work happening, a lot of, as Mr. Sanchez has said, there are some setbacks, but I am truly confident that our school leaders and our staff is going to be prepared to take on our students. And I would like to lastly wish our students a successful school year, coming in with a positive mind. Make sure that you complete those summer packets if you haven't done so already. And to our staff, whether this is your first year, if this is your 10th year, 20th year, always, I know first year jitters come or the Sunday scaries start happening. We always shake it off and we make things happen, right? Because teamwork makes the dream work, right? So wishing everyone a good school year and have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Everybody says, can everybody hear me? Okay, thank you. I'm trying to get close to the mic. First and foremost, thank everyone who is in attendance here in person, those individuals that were online as well. I really would like to encourage you to continue to do exactly this. Each one teach one, right? That's something that everybody says, each one teach one. Bring a friend, bring a member of the community, bring a parent. We need to continue to have this conversation regularly, and we need to keep hearing from you. I appreciate it. And I do believe that members of the board are absolutely in line with the fact that we need to hear from you and continue to hear from you. This upcoming year, there are going to be lots of changes. We are in line right now to search for a new superintendent of schools. We need to hear your opinion. good, bad, indifferent. We need to hear it. We need to understand what it is you would like to see happen, change, and be different. So please take full advantage of the survey that's going to be posted. Ask your friends to complete the survey. The more information and input that we have, especially from the individuals who don't have the opportunity to come, this is your opportunity to voice your opinion and actually have it put into a metric so that we have an idea of what is most important. So I start with that. Next up, Mrs. Parchment. I'll be honest with you. I'll not normally like your reports. I don't. But today the energy was there. You came through with exactly what I sit here every month and know is going to be the outcome. I know that our students are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're getting that education, they're learning. And I was very grateful to see you present that to us today. I am a lover of words and conversation, and I truly believe that ELA and language is where it begins. I also agree that, yes, it is absolutely necessary if you intend to have greater student achievement in other curriculums such as science and math. There needs to be a comprehension and an understanding of what they're reading so that they can then learn and ask questions that they may not normally know to ask. It's very important. Again, ELA, kudos to Ms. Cavallo, that team. I appreciate it. Math. It's always a struggle. I'm not going to lie. I don't enjoy it. I got through calculus. I don't know how. I don't enjoy it. Okay. But those things will fall in line. And I absolutely believe that the reading is where it begins. Ms. Moncloa, you have a big job ahead of you. I absolutely trust that you can do it. I appreciate your encouragement and your enthusiasm. And I do believe that you are going to be trickling that on down to the individuals who work with you. And I am very much looking forward to seeing you excel in that position with those students and assisting our ELL group. It is extremely important. I'm going to quickly jump here into Spanish with my New Yorican Spanish. So, pero nuestra comunidad de hispanos, de gente de Sudamérica, es bien importante que tú estás activo en las vidas de sus niños en las escuelas. Necesitamos su voz aquí. Necesitamos que tú te presentes aquí con nosotros para hablar con nosotros, para explicar lo que tú necesitas en su comunidad. I just recently learned there is a Hispanics for Hackensack on Facebook. I had no idea. I have yet to have my request approved. I guess they don't know. But it is very important that we encourage those students and their parents as well. It really does start at home. And if the parent needs to come and show up to these meetings with their child who is then translating for them, or they approach myself or Jen or somebody else that can explain to them or present options for them to present their questions, we need to hear them as well. We need everybody here to help. It takes a village. And that's all forms. If I knew another language, I would absolutely be here representing my Jamaican community, my African-American communities that are from the islands. We need y'all here and we want our students to succeed. And it starts at home and we continue that success here in the schools. So I appreciate all the administrators that are returning this year. I hope that you keep that energy and that enthusiasm. It is not easy by any means. I don't know how y'all do it. I couldn't do it. I have a hard enough time with the 15-year-old and a 23-year-old already. So I appreciate you. And I know the community does as well. Please keep doing what you're doing and advocate for your students. That's the best that we can ask for. Briefly, Mr. Jackson, if you're still online, it's palpable. It's palpable, the silence, but there's a reason for it. So I hope that you look at this board and that you understand we have a lot of people that we are trying to satisfy. And I hope I don't get my hands slapped for this, but we have a community of parents. We have a community of students. We have a community of administrators, teachers, and staff. And we have to be able to support each and every one of you. So although I apologize that it was palpable last month when we sat here and we listened, but we didn't respond, it was required. And I do hope that you understand that. Thank you, everybody who came out, who's online. And again, next month, bring a friend. Bring a friend. There's going to be lots of things going on that we need people in the community to be aware of and hear firsthand. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bowman?
Got your hand.
Give it.
So progress. I guess I'll start off by acknowledging 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. That I think it should be impressed upon all of our students and anyone that does not know, this is not ancient history. 60 years ago, I'm only 25, but it's not ancient history. And, you know, it's so recent that my father pointed to the point on the National Mall where he was standing during my speech. But we have to acknowledge that there has been progress. Sometimes it's so slow and sometimes it's so subtle that we can't see it until all of a sudden we have a Black president. Or any other achievement that happens, realize that things are changing, but it's important to acknowledge. Everyone talks about the big six. We don't talk about the fact that Mr. Ruskin is not included in that because he was homosexual. It did not include, maybe someone can help me, the woman. They did not include her in the big six because she was a woman. But times change, and we have to acknowledge that progress is happening. It's steady, it's slow, but it happens. And progress is being made here. This is incredible. This really shows a marked improvement, incredible progress. And top down from my superintendent, principals, assistant superintendents. This was really special acknowledgement. It's more than a notable achievement. And I'm not from here. I not only did not grow up in this district, I did not grow up in this state. And I sometimes fall into that pitfall of comparing apples and oranges to how my educational experience happened versus the ones my kids are experiencing now. And my kids bleed that blue and gold that everyone talks about. And I'm so happy that I've made this decision to have my kids in the school district. And I'm very proud that they're here. And they're going to look back and be just as proud to be from here as all of you are. I'm very happy that this progress is being made. Sometimes it's steady, sometimes it's slow. It's happening. I thank all of you for all the hard work that you put into this. I look forward to this upcoming school year. 2 high schoolers, 1 entering the 5th grade. I said this over and over again. It's easy when you have older kids that are high achievers, but you really see what teachers, administrators are made of when you have a kid that's facing challenges. Just over the summer, seeing the reception I've gotten when I reach out to certain teachers for extra help with my son. I'm just very happy and very encouraged for this upcoming year. I just want to thank everyone. You know, some of you left, but thank you, June. with the board. Sometimes I go back and forth about my decision not to run re-election to continue to be on this board. I have sometimes a bad hearing. And because of my bad hearing, if there's some static in the room, I can't hear the person talking next to me. And once in a while, you can look through that static. All of the things that are going on around us, you realize what's important. And I've heard, and I'm hearing what is important here. And it's really going to be my head. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bowman.
Ladies first.
Hi, good night, everybody. So I'm gonna kind of bounce off of a little bit what Chris said. So this week, today, I missed my fourth drop off to college today because of the board meeting, but within this week, I've dropped off 4 kids at college. Beyond the fact of being broke, this would not be possible, honestly, without Hackensack being the foundation for that, right? My kids all went through the Hackensack public school system. And I went through it, my husband went through it, my brothers went through it, and everybody at the end of the day turned out successful. And I have no expectation that my 4 kids will be the same. So even though Ms. Parchment, the progress is incremental, it's progress, right? And I am excited for it. I'm appreciative of it. And I think that there's nothing but good things to come. You guys have honestly put in the hard work for the teachers and the staff. I see the output of it, especially being on the curriculum committee and meeting with you, every month and talking through what's going on, the progress, the work, coming to your office, popping up and seeing the teachers in your office, drilling down into the curriculum and the things that you need to do, there's real action going on. And again, as a parent of kids that went through here, I am thankful for it. And I'm sure the other parents in the district definitely appreciate the hard work that you guys are putting in. So to everybody that can't remember all the names, but to everybody that presented today, thank you guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for all your hard work. I want to wish the staff, the children, the administrators, the board, everybody for an successful 2023 into 2024 season. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to come. There's a lot of challenges, but again, this is Hackensack, right? We meet everything head on and we come out victorious on the end. So I expect nothing less. In closing to what Chris said, I remember watching the speech. I watched the 60th March. I saw Martin Luther King's granddaughter, give her speech. And it always comes back to one thing, right? It says that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And in the end, change takes time, but it does happen. So again, as I sit here, right, I am an output of his success. And I can see nothing but, again, good things to come. So everybody hang in there. Sometimes it seems like, it's insurmountable, but at the end of the day, small steps, right? And we'll get to the destination. So again, thank you, everybody, and be safe. Have a happy 2023 to 2024 season. Thank you and good night.
I was just reflecting on what everyone has said. And the real success of a school can't be measured by a single test. Although that's really important to show the benchmark of progress. But real progress with students, we want them to make progress, not to make them perfect. And I want everyone to understand that there has been a tremendous amount of success at Hackensack Public Schools. Look at all the wonderful opportunities that is offered at the school district. Millions of dollars, not in terms of the infrastructure of the school, to show the students that we care about them, that I learned at our last meeting. I couldn't believe a dome that we're considering over a field. To the curriculum becoming more enriched with the ALEX program to make it more tailored and individualized. And partnership with the Hackensack Police, who do a tremendous job reaching out to the community, where I attended with the superintendent of schools and President James Vickery regarding the graduation of our youth, that took that opportunity to learn what does it feel like to be a police officer. That is a bigger success story than even the state test scores, because the students got more of a hands-on experience on what it's like to be not only a police officer, but to really have a real career profession. And I was adopted from Seoul, South Korea. So I had the opportunity to come to the United States. And what a great opportunity it is just to witness the diversity of this school district, of every race, every gender, every color, religion, working together with a common goal of serving our students in this school district. And it really fills me up with a lot of emotional responses, because there's no other country that can brag about what we do for each other as a family, as a community. And it really makes me feel proud to be here with you. So thank you very much.
I appreciate all of you, as always, coming and lending your voice, your time to be here. I had the honor of being able to speak just a little bit to the new teacher orientation group. They're very excited to be here. The energy in that room was very high and exciting. I'm very excited about the group that's going to be exposed to our children. The diversity amongst the hires that we have reflects our student population. The energy that they bring and will bring this year, I think we're going to be headed for a really great year. I also got to experience a lot more energy and a lot more heat. Saturday at Saturday at the second annual Back to School Jam, which from the first annual one, it has even gained more steam and excitement. It is really nice to see the community and the teachers and other staff members of our district that are there on their own time to support our middle schoolers, because as we know, like I know Ms. Whitaker was there, I know Ms. Burt was there. So many people were there because their babies go to the middle school. And so it was nice to be able to be a part of that. I have 3 that are going to be at the middle school, so I'm sorry for that. I will say, Ms. Parchment, I do like your presentations. And I think that your the message that you got to deliver tonight was some words that this district needed to hear. And everyone did a great job. And Ms. Moncloa, and it's not just because you're here. I promise, because I wrote this down and it had to have happened, no, because you know I would never remember all this. But let me say first, you do have an extremely big job, but let me say that you are extremely gifted at your job. Here are some of the things that you said that specific. This is how you know I'm not lying. One, I want us to all recognize the term is now multilingual learner. And I think that that is important for us to, as we're always wanting to be culturally sensitive in every way. That is one of the things that we need to make sure that we are addressing is the way we speak around that name. But one of my favorite things that you said that is actually speaking to some of the things that everybody here is saying is you use the term, now I'm used to hearing microaggression, but you use the term microprogression. And that's kind of what everybody's saying here is that it's these small steps. It's these tiny little steps that are happening. And you're noticing them. And that sometimes, I was a special educator, a severe, profound special education student. And I worked on my little baby's name. Well, I mean, he was 18, big baby, but his name was Brandon. And we worked on a B for almost 3 years, but we got the B. And we did it by micro progressions. Like we worked on each little part of the B. And that is what I think that we're noticing, right? Is those little tiny progressions. And those little tiny progressions made a little bit bigger progression that we noticed in our test scores. And so your message tonight was what we needed to do. And I think that this is just the beginning of what is yet to come for this district. This was just the first, August 28th, 2023 is just the beginning of good messages from here to come. That's yet to come. And I also love that you said to pivot is necessary, to pivot as necessary, and it's always necessary. So we have to remember that as humans, we have to remember that as a board, as individuals, like we always have to be ready to assess the situation. And if we need to pivot, we pivot. We do it for our kids, we do it for our school, we do it for the district, whatever we're doing, we have to just figure out what's happening. If we need to pivot, we're going to pivot because that's what we need to do. So thank you again for coming. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All right. All those
shall receive.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, and there are none.
Nay, no.